Okay guys, I was going to start the video a little bit later, but we were in a perfect filming moment. We just got here. The topic of today's video is impulse control, and Cowboy was barking frantically to get out of the car because he knows where we're at, and it normally means playing and fun. So I'm making him wait before I let him out, before he is calm. Why don't you sit down, Cowboy? Sit. Good. Reluctantly sits. You seem okay. Okay. All right, guys, kind of already gave it away. The topic of today's video is impulse control and how important it is for your dog. So let's dive in. Before we do, make sure you hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. We're almost at 1,000 followers. We are growing fast. The pack is growing. So if you guys could take the 1/4 of a second and hit the like button, Cowboy, thank you. And last thing before we dive in, as always, our videos are sponsored by Back 40 Dogs. Of course they are. It's our company. If you haven't checked us out yet, back40dogs.com. We got sick merch for people, but we are all about optimizing your dog and their bodies with the proper nutrition. So if you haven't yet, swing on over to our website. We got tons of info over there. And with that being said, video in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How's my background look? Tools? I think that looks cool. All right, guys, I wanted to talk about impulse control with your dogs today because I've been getting a lot of messages from people. Just kind of like, I'll post a video about mountain biking and their dog bites at the tires. I'll post a video about just anything, and the dogs kind of can react to things, very reactive. It's a very herding dog type thing, right? So herding dogs are supposed to kind of nip, and you know, they have high drive. Any high drive dog is going to be like this. So really, it's really important to train impulse control. Commands like leave it can really help your dog, one, not hurt anyone from accidentally like trying to herd them and bite them, but also two, it can really even save their life if they run into the street after a car or something because they want to bite the tire. Cowboy used to try and do that. I was like, why would he try and do that? It's a herding dog thing. And so impulse control is huge, huge, huge. You need to train your dog this because it could save their life. So Cowboy has this thing with trash can tires. We don't have any trash can tires where I'm at right now. But when we go on walks on trash night, he will try and bite the tires. And I always try and use it as a practice time for teaching leave it. And he does really well. If I don't say leave it, he wants to rip the wheel off the trash can. I don't know what it is. Apparently it's like a common theme. Let me know in the comments below, does your cattle dog or herding dog try and bite wheels? It seems like a very common theme within this type of dog. But I mean, I guess my main point here, guys, is it may seem, these little things may seem funny when they're younger, but when they get older, it becomes like a serious problem. And like, I don't think people realize, like, if it was a golden retriever that was like trying to like play with a trash can tire, it's a totally different mindset that dog has than a cattle dog. Cowboy, go get your ball. Fetch it up. Shh. Fetch it up. A cattle dog is just not playing with that trash can wheel. They're trying to kill the trash can wheel. They want to rip it off, and it turns into a vicious game. Whereas a golden retriever might just be trying to, you know, I don't know. They just like to play with plastic and think everything's a flower. I love golden retrievers. They're awesome. Just a different mindset. Dog, these guys are so much more intense. And you can't let them get away with the same things that you would let other breeds get away with. That's why people don't recommend them as first dogs for people, because if you don't know how to handle these guys, they are something else. Look at this, we have a seat. He's my co-pilot. Oh, back to the impulse control thing. It's just, I mean, if your dog's running after something that you don't want them to, it's just you're gonna have so much more control over it. If they There's really two commands that could stop that. It's either a down that they drop immediately no matter what, or it's a leave it command where they just disengage and you call them back to you. So those are the two things that are gonna really be essential for these high drive, high prey drive dogs. Okay, so right now I'm gonna show you guys how I taught Cowboy leave it. It's pretty simple. Like most of my training techniques, if you haven't noticed by now, I start with treats generally. Treats generally, and then from there I move on. Once they understand the concept with treats, then we're going to move into a more correction-based training that, you know, it's like you can't fault them early on when they don't know what it is. You can't correct them for not doing it properly. Once they know what it is, we correct them. Hey, lay down. Okay, so we're gonna start with treats and food control, and then that will lead into impulse control with other things down the road, such as, you know, moving objects, small animals, whatnot. Okay, so I place the food right here in front of him, leave it, and I'm just like very close and ready. If he starts to go for that food, you block it, and you tell him no, leave it. After he leaves it for a little bit, this is a young dog, you say, okay, okay, good boy. Because their attention span isn't very long, so you can practice the length and duration that you start to train this as. Hey, leave it, and then you start to get some skills. Okay. Hey, back off, back off. So guys, this is a very simple way to start to teach this command. Leave it, and once they get the hang of it, then you're gonna start to transition to some leash work, walking past distractions. Once they understand that, hey, I get rewarded when I don't go after this thing that he's talking about, then that's when you know, you're gonna have a lot more control over them. Their impulses are going to be more controlled, which means you're really just gonna have a more balanced dog that's gonna be able to go more places and do more things. Okay, okay. Let's see how many we can get on here. Leave it. That's all I got. Okay. Ah, good boy. That was a lot of treats, chunk. All right, buddy. Okay guys, so hopefully you can kind of see how that would have some value when you're out and about, and you know, if your dog locks onto a target you don't want them to be locked onto, then you can kind of break that. Now we're gonna test this right now with a little bit more escalated situation. I got a bear head that was gifted to us back here hanging on this wall, and Cowboy does not like it. He always tries to jump up at it. I'm gonna kind of point him in that direction purposely, and then we're gonna try and break him from going after it, because if I don't say anything, he'll jump up and rip it off the wall. So let's see how this goes. Come on, buddy. Hey, leave it. No. Good. You guys see this? He was going for the, hey, no. I know he wants to get it. See, if I said his release word, he would jump up and snag this thing. It's kind of creepy. But hopefully you guys just saw that right there, how he was running towards the bear, not full speed, because he's already tried to jump out at once since we were here, and I was able to stop him. Okay, you need to be able to control your dog, especially if you're gonna have them off leash, which I like to have my dog off leash. I like to give them that freedom, but they can only have that freedom if they're trained properly, which comes back to you. So they need to realize that you are their ticket to freedom. Where's your ball, dude? Come on, let's find it. Hey, no, no. I know you want to get it. Let's go. Come on. So you are their ticket to freedom, and if you fail to train them, then they don't get that freedom. You see it all the time, you know? That's really why dogs end up in shelters. Dogs end up, you know, locked inside. They don't get to go places, is because they aren't trained properly. It's never the dog's fault, all right, guys? Very rarely is it the dog's fault. So comes on to the owners and responsible dog ownership. And if you guys are watching YouTube videos on it, you're trying to figure it out, you're trying to do your best. That's all we're all trying to do. We're all trying to do our best, me included. So I'm not perfect by any means, not even close, but hopefully you guys can see that I have decent control over this guy in most situations, and we work on it all the time. Quick recap on that video. We're going to start impulse training by teaching the leave it command. We're going to start that with treats, kind of like I showed you, blocking it when they try and go for it. You can also have them on a leash at this time to kind of prevent them from getting the food. From there, you're going to start to upgrade walking past distractions with a leash and giving them a correction, just to tug on the leash and saying leave it when they are trying to go after something that they might be distracted in. Having a very high reward treat, like something they're super into, like some meat or something, can be great to get them away from that. And then they are rewarded for not going after whatever it is that they were originally seeking to do. So it's practice, guys. It's just gonna take practice, and you guys will get it. And my dog's being impatient, so I gotta go. If you guys found any value out of that, hit that little thumbs up for me. Make sure you have the bell notifications on to when we have new videos. Sorry, words are hard. And then, yeah, guys, we'll catch you in the next video. Comment below what you would like to see in future videos, though, because, you know, I'm just coming up with these ideas on my own. So come on, help me out. All right, Cowboy? Oh, see you guys.